So for the past about 16, 20 hours, I think I know what I'm gonna do, and that's the only time I'll plug it, even though I could be plugging it somewhere else. Yeah, if I do itch.io stuff, I'll put out a video on this channel, that's all I'll really say. I'll probably say a bit more after the timestamps, as we have at in Scars, and you know what else I didn't do? This. But, yeah, we'll move on. Also, no, I won't say that part, because I don't know if that's true. So, as we move on here... Oh god, got a cough. I think I still have another... Yeah, we have another one left. And if not, well, I swear it's not because I just want to play with the katana, but, because it feels great. Let me see here. So, we do have 2 custom mysteries here, so as we actually get into at Scars character exclusive custom character, yeah, if I do anything about game dev, you'll see a video on it within probably 24-48 hours, depends on how fast I do it, and you'll get to play around with stuff. It'll be completely free, no, you don't have to do anything, but I will talk a bit more about it. Light, strength, second mystery, dexterity, Takshisan, and maybe a knowledge check? No second encounter check. Takshisan right at the end. And we have 9 dexterity, but we'll think about it. Let me just make sure. I almost pressed Q. Thank goodness in this update of World of Horror, you have to hold Q to get something to work, but hey, to reset. But yeah, so it's not going to be a public page on itch.io. I'll probably link it through my videos because I don't want to plaster the page of itch.io with basically a, I guess, work in progress project, of a work in progress testing ground for the project, one of the projects I'm working on. And this is the quicker project, not the pretty much every single asset aside from maybe BGM and audio is what do I want to say? Not as basically it's the RPG Maker asset one. And even though I say that, I'm going to be using other assets that were made for RPG Maker, but basically you'll be there's a good reason to say, Jordan, why didn't you just do this earlier? And that's because I just failed to do it. Recluse, Coma, Ward, a lot of Hospital, Loom, and Auteur. And a squeaky chair. So, let me see what I want to do. Probably just Coma into Recluse into Ward. As odd as that sounds, otherwise we would have had Botanist. We also would have had Arms, but I think we can also take Loom first. That way I can save Coma for later. Yeah, we'll do Auteur 4th probably, so we'll do that. Because we're in town here, that's the main reason. We are in town for Coma as well, but we take reason damage at the end. And if I'm going to go from... Basically, this is your World of Horror tip for the day. If you're going to go from a mystery to Recluse, unless you're doing ending 8 Coma, which is going to do all damage to you anyway, you probably should take Coma... Don't take Coma before Recluse, basically. Because you don't want to risk being at low reason for the boss fight. That's all I'm trying to say. We don't have Akamanto, so Gruesome Totem is a good pick, in my opinion anyway. But we also need to grab the Hospital Pass. And since I know we're not on random item stats, your other second little tip is that, yeah, you make sure you have 3 funds, unless you're not scared of out of funds, then you need 2 funds. I should have checked the ally, but hey, off we go. Oh, goodness. All things considered, I mean, as a joke, I'm going to say this as a joke, I could set up a fund for a better chair, but I'm pretty sure this chair is actually causing me, and by chair I mean one nice 2 dexterity roll, by the way, I thank you for that game, but basically sitting on folding chairs for the past 2 to 3 years at least has probably not been good for my body, but hey. We also have Book of Gore, I didn't even notice, but hey. That could be interesting, we'll hold on to it, it's not like we need the reason right now, we might soon, but no. Also, again, we have Book of Gore for Recluse, so I could have taken Coma first. That's kind of one of the exceptions. But it's not a great succession, not a great exception if I use Book of Gore and get Cut Artery for it. But hey. Now that cost me reason, but I think we'll be fine still. Keeping in mind that we have Scars, and we have yet to run into a single encounter, so now I'm just really, really sad, but we'll deal with it. And yeah, there are some requests and needs for more custom content in World of Horror, even though World of Horror, thank you for giving me, this is a character exclusive event, so I feel like that has to be a character perk that you need, but anywho. I was gonna say something else, but I've completely forgot. Anywho, moving on. We can take Recluse first. I would like to, because by the time we finish with Ward, our reason may be in a lot worse of a situation, so Knowing that, I think I still took experience there. But still, we're going to take Recluse. Because we get to two-shot this boss. On the third mystery, I'm not sure if you still get to two-shot the boss. But hey, we'll find out. So, not really much else to say. We're pretty much autopiloting through this, but game dev-wise, yeah, you'll get to play with 2 characters. I might add in... Well, there are obviously like 4 characters overall, without spoiling too much, because, as I mentioned before, you don't want to... If you don't have something prepared right out the gate, don't announce a game, basically. But, because I'm getting a lot closer, then I feel it's not prudent, but what's the word I'm looking for? Prudent is the best word I can think of at the moment, but... You know, it makes sense to talk about this, if for no other reason than we're sitting on time here, but... yeah, there are 4 characters overall, but you only get to play with 2. One of them is more like an NPC, and the other one will be playable. She's gonna be more playable, but that'll be after about 2 or 3 more characters. Basically, this is a game that allows you to control select from a vast cast of characters, but it'll be over time. It'll also probably be more like a bite-sized sandbox type game, where you just, you know, take quests here and there or do things here and there, but I'm still deciding. Obviously, there'll still be an overarching story, kind of a linear progression, but hey. Again, it's more like my fun sandbox, which is why the game should be free. If I make you pay for anything, it'll more be a donation type thing, where you'll still get something in return, because I'm going to treat this like a commercial project. I think that, funny as it sounds to say, I think that's a safer thing to do most of the time, especially if you're getting, or can, I guess the more accurate, I guess is more like indie game dev advice then. But if you release anything, whether it's a game, assets, so on and so forth, on say like GameJolt, itch.io, especially Steam, and you can not even plan to, if you can receive money in any shape or form, I would highly recommend that you treat your project like a commercial project. Personal projects, like if you really want to try and define a personal project, yeah, usually people think along the lines of, hey, it's something I'm not making money from, but the more accurate phrase to use would be you're making a non-commercial project, and you really have to make sure that you're not receiving money in any shape or fashion. That's all I can really say at the moment. We do want to take that, by the way. We can also store this gruesome totem. We'll have enough doom for the moment, so the bat is more important here. Oh goodness, I think I could have used a bottle of water. I was trying to unmute my mic, but hey. But yeah, if you're not planning to make any money at all, and again, the reason I say you have to be really careful is if you have, say, a subscribe star, if you say you have a Patreon, if you have a other basically any kind of way that you can get money, no matter how small it is. I mean, obviously it depends on your place of residence. But at least here in the U.S., in the United States of America, if you make, I think it's still $300, over $300, $400. I'm just gonna take the smaller amount, but you can see this is like anywhere from $300, $400. You have to file a tax return, pretty much. You do. Now, the amount of tax you pay might not be all that large, but you're highly recommended to do that. Otherwise, you're also saying, I'm gonna stop being a citizen. So, like, there's a reason we pay tax. I don't think taxes are inherently evil. There's no way I could believe that. But at the same time, like, you do want to be aware of it, at least in my opinion. So legally speaking, at least again, if you're developing anything really, whether it's art, games, music, so on and so forth, and you receive money in any shape or fashion, it can be treated as, you know. But definitely as employment of some sort, whether you're not yourself employed, actually employed by another individual or company or entity, then I highly recommend, in my opinion, that you are careful about the money you're taking in. At least expecting to pay tax on it due to income tax. So, self-therapy, yeah, I think funny enough, we take self-therapy here because I have spells to forget. Although Book of Gore is by far the better one, but hey, also we have 4 reason left, my goodness, but that would have allowed me to one-shot this encounter. Can we still one-shot this encounter? I guess that'll be the question, right? If we get bonus damage, yes. If we don't, no. No. But we only take 1 stamina anyway because, hey, scars. And so all this to say, all that talk about commercial, non-commercial, personal projects, to say that, yeah, I'm just going to treat it like a commercial project. So I'm going to, you know, give proper credit, make sure you take care of all the terms of use of any assets that you're using. But for the most part, yeah, I usually use assets, whether they're BGMs, sound effects, definitely graphical assets, scripts from plugins for RPG Maker. Make sure that I go through and literally read through all documentation that may exist, because you don't want to forget something and then bad things happen. Now, most of the times that's not the case, but if you're using something from a more, I guess, from a larger entity, you definitely want to read through, especially if you're planning to make money. If you're not, if you're doing personal project things, usually people don't care, but there are also terms of use and guidelines for things that are considered free. Also, I never took the handcuffs, by the way. Did I? No. And which would have been nice for this hospital investigation, so we'll do that now, because we still have coma. But yeah. So that's the thing. Theoretically speaking, I'm only working on 2 projects, but there's also, I still have a lot on my plate. You know, the Fear and Hunger fanfic I have to do from the Batsu game, World of Horrors custom content, World of Horror TRPG from Tabletop Simulator. If you don't know what these are, I mean, I can talk about them, but if you want to hear more about it, just let me know. Don't I have quick thinking, by the way? Kato. So we'll see. Oh man, we just took the Doom hits in the face. Now we're on our last mystery with 62% Doom, so we're not actually doing that poorly, but yeah, getting the bad, well, quote-unquote, the bad ending there does make me feel really bad. But as we actually take Reason here, because I don't want to lose the run to Reason, off we go. Keeping in mind we still have self-therapy, and now we have Hot Bath, just in case we need it. Could take winging it, but let's just assume my RNG is going to be bad, and we'll move on. Although I guess I can just talk about the quote-unquote TRPG for a moment. Hey, another katana? That would be nice. Nope. Rolled an 8. Even though we have 8 perception as well, but that's just funky mumbo jumbo. But basically, I wanted to do some. I wanted to make a little tabletop simulator mod for World of War. But yeah, that takes a lot of work too. So, and that's not the highest priority on top of everything else I have. You know, middle priority. Nice 11+1 roll, by the way, game. Try to sneak that past me, eh? But yeah. Also, you know, the Fear and Hunger mod. I wanted to get back to it, but focusing on other stuff. Also, if I play Against the Storm, as it turns out, one run of Against the Storm is usually about an hour. If you want to speed through it, 45 minutes, but I'm not that knowledgeable Against the Storm. That's why my series is still called New Player, because I don't really consider myself to have been at least experienced in any shape, form, or fashion. Did we just get another gruesome totem, by the way? Well, that's interesting, but anywho. The broken box cutter still does damage to the hospital pass. I should really toss, actually. But we try the free sample, and we take 5 Doom, because oof. Yeah, we did get another gruesome totem. That makes me a little sad. But we can actually just equip this now. We also do have the ritual robe, which I didn't equip because I think they get literally you're in Otter, you're given the ritual robe, and I think you can immediately use it for a an event. But anywho, as we take 3 reason damage here and move on with our lives. Yeah, we could have used Hot Bath, but the lighthouse should be just perfectly fine, actually, still. We can drink this bottle of water and refill it. But more importantly, as we go into the lighthouse here, we can do this. And off we go. Ah, my finger. So yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say. If you want me to play any specific custom content, you always know to just give me a shout in the comments section and I'll play it. I'll gladly play it. Even though I think a few people have asked the same in the past, but yeah. I might have forgotten. So again, at least starting from this video, if you comment and want to see certain content that I can play on this channel, because, you know, you never know. People might make custom content that's a little spicy, so just gotta be sure that I'm okay for myself. But otherwise, I'll usually oblige, because what else am I doing, right? So yeah, without further ado, 80% Doom left, a whole lot of stamina and reason, and I'm not going to take much more of your time. If you want to support me, you know what to do. If you see any other videos appear on this channel, they're going to be what they are, and I'll see you when I see you. Thank you for watching. Bye! My fingers!